Hey, it looks like we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first banishment of the season of two of the collective season Destiny. And I'm acting like I'm really happy, but I am also very sad because we will be losing one person today from this wonderful cast. So do not worry. I'm going to ask some questions, but don't worry, I'm not going to ask all 14 of you or however many there are of you because I don't think you all want to hear my voice for the next hour. So I'm going to close my eyes and pick on somebody. I got Lily, that doesn't count. So we're going to go next to her, which is Chloe. Chloe, can you ask a question? You're muted. Great start. Okay, so we're gonna go Dylan instead because you're on top of her on my Zoom. So Dylan, obviously this is not a Survivor org, this is not a Big Brother org, this is the collective. Obviously, it's a new format for everyone. So how is it playing for this new format for we've been playing what for 3 days now? So how is that going?
Um, I've kind of found it challenging a little bit because there's so many people to talk to. You got to balance all these relationships. You're not really sure how to strategize the game because you have to trust your inner circle, but you also have to have trust without outside your inner circle. So it's been very complicated, but it's been fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for answering the first question of the season. I'm gonna go to William next. William, kind of going off what Dylan said, there's a lot of people. There's a total of 20 people. And I don't know about you, but usually Survivor tribes are 10 people. Big Brother's not a cast of 20 people. So it's like, how was it talking to 19 people? Like, how were you able to maintain that in your game?
It's a little overwhelming, right? And I think the hard thing with these is that like sometimes people's timing in life is just difficult. So like people have been traveling for work, bachelorette th or bachelor things, school, so many different things have been conflicting into why people have been able to connect more with some people than others. Um, but I think as long as we're trying our best and we're giving time to make those connections. I think that's what can be the most important, and that we're still just giving effort to making those connections to keep us moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's go to Keddy next. Keddy, as you know, the format of this game is to be in your circles. Everyone was given their circle this weekend, and the hosts do not let everyone know who the circles are. So, has there been talk about circles, or like what is everyone? What do you think is everyone's? What do you think is mostly everyone's strategy when it comes to circles about keeping it a secret, or just even dealing with the people you are in a circle with?
Thank you so much, Michael, for giving me the floor. I think
Anytime.
well, thank you so much. I think the circles is a very complex question, and I think it depends on the person that you ask. I think that the inner circle, in a sense, is kind of like a guaranteed number per se, if you're looking to protect that group really far into the game, because those are people that you may be able to rely on. But then there's also the caveat that not everyone in your inner circle can make it far. I mean, only two, I believe, of each inner circle can make it to the jury phase. So there's that complexity of trusting people within your inner circle to get you to a certain point. But that also means that it's complex and you have to reach out to people that are in different inner circles. And it makes it completely a unique game where some people might be not willing to share that information of who's in their inner circle, or maybe they are, depending on if there's somebody that they're not really vibing with and want to get out sooner. So I think it's really assessing your individual relationships and trying to manage that. But I think what William said was an interesting point where it's like, there's 19 other people, but I would say that every single person here has talked to some people more than others. Some people don't really have a good read. Some people only have a game relationship. Some people may have small personal relationships. So it's really starting to kind of shape that. But I think as the season goes on, it will get easier of like navigating who you can trust, but who you can't trust, and the decisions that are going to be most beneficial moving forward, whether it is or isn't with your inner circle.
Thank you so much, Keddy, for having the floor. You did great. I'm gonna go to Topher next. So going still basing it on circles. You guys did a challenge. You don't know how we put you in these circles. You don't really even know how well you did. But we basically told you who your final two is going to be. So how does that change your game from any other game where you kind of decide on who your final two is?
Well, it changes the game in the sense that I don't have to promise like half the cast final two. So like I'm just like limited to my inner circle and I can be like, this is it. And like I don't have any sort of obligation when it comes to forming these outside bonds with anybody else of like, is this potentially going to be a final two? Like it's really like, is this just not an option? Like, and that's what's weird about this game too, right? Of like you have these conversations with people that are not in your inner circle and you need these bonds because you need to work with everybody in this game as far as like, you know, you need people that are going to be willing to save you and things of that nature. However, it will never get to the point of final two. You know what I mean? So it's almost like, you know, like dating somebody that you know you're not going to marry. And you're just like, what are we doing here? Like it's never gonna reach the aisle, but you know, at least you know, we're here for a good time.
Awesome. That was a great comparison. I am going to go to Vicky next. Vicky, as you know, we had our first picking process trial yesterday. Um, were people going around like really investigating, nitpicking on who was picking who, or was it just like whatever, we'll just go on to the next round?
Um, I saw both sides of the coin, so there was some people that were like, okay, who should I save? Why should I save them? And then I've just seen some other people, like me personally, I just went off of vibes, vibing.
Awesome. Thank you. Billy, can you talk? Okay, because you're okay. So, you were. I talked to Vicky, who was, you know, in the collective. You were one of the first people picked. Um, does that mean anything? Like, I guess it's kind of the same question I asked Vicky. As someone who was picked, are people talking about who was picking who? Are people assuming those are the circles, or those are like circle mates? Like, how was that going on? I hope that question made sense.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Well, I'm just led to believe that I was picked first because I'm literally the sexiest cast member in the world. So, you know, if
He's right.
but no, but seriously, honestly, I I mean, I don't think this is a secret. I knew that I was being saved almost right away. But at the same time, like there was also, from what I heard, a lot of people who didn't know if they were being saved, or there were plans that were flipping back and forth, and not everything was super straightforward. So again, I thank Topher for being super straightforward with me. But at the same time, I know not everyone had that luxury of having that. And at the same time, I also don't envy being in the collective at the same time because you have to make a tough decision. You're not only choosing a person to save, you're basically sending everyone else one step closer to being on the block. And especially as you go down the line, you could be literally like Roberto, who literally basically decided the noms for the week. So it's a double-edged sword. Do you want to make that decision? I don't know.
Right. That actually brings me to a really good question next. I'm gonna go with Andrew. Andrew, last season, we did not have the option for the winner of the challenge to choose the order of the collective. So, do you think that is going to be a bigger decision going on in the future? Are people going first or people going last?
You know, I do. I think that it adds a really interesting element to the game because I feel like it gives the winner the option to put a lot less of a target on their back, but it also could put a bigger target on their back when you think about it. Because if you decide, like Roberto decided to flip the order completely, which completely took the stress of who gets the first save. So I can't remember who picked first. I can't remember.
I did.
Topher did, yep.
So Topher got the first pick. So Topher had to select who to save first. So everyone was probably going to Topher like, oh, pick me, pick me, pick me. And that's a lot of stress on Topher. Now, had nothing changed, then Topher would have just, you know, selected whoever was remaining, and that was that. But it adds an interesting element because not only can you reverse the order and flip it around, and you don't have to deal with anything until the last three people, and you just go, oh, well, I just chose one of the last three left. But then I believe there was also the wheel option where it's just a random order. So you kind of take a huge target off your back now, and I think it's just a brilliant element to the game.
Awesome, thank you. And then there's just a lot of you guys, so I'm sorry. So Laura, I'm gonna ask you one of the final questions. It's no secret that you are one of the few returners this season. Has that been an effect to you in the game? Has that changed your game at all from season one at all?
Um, Not a lot, honestly. Because this format is so unique in that you are given kind of a starting base of people to work with in your inner circle. Um, I think that at least in the early stages of the game, it's very similar to at least when I played last time. Adding this new twist of how the picking order goes and things like that may change the way I view things in the future. But I guess I'm just really trying to focus on getting to know people. And that was something that was a little bit more difficult with the last cast. If anyone watched my intro video. Uh, but no, it's been a lot of fun just like talking to everyone and getting to know them. I mean, obviously we all know who's in our circle and who's not. So like Topher said, it's like sometimes you're talking to people who it's like it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna be a final two, but sometimes you're talking to those people who you're thinking about, can I beat them down the line? I don't think the strategy changes a whole lot from season one. So
Awesome, thank you. Um, I think that was gonna be my last question. I know there's a few of you I didn't get to ask, but before we go to the noms, if anyone does have anything they would like to say for like 30 seconds, you're more than welcome to. If not, we'll go right into the nominees. Awesome. Okay, so you guys will just give your last please speeches. I will go with James first, and the floor is yours.
Okay. I had to write this speech because I've been emotional all day. I've had maybe an hour and a half of sleep, so please bear with me. In a game where we're either safe or not, it was hard for me yesterday because I went from such a high emotional state of happiness in my real life to a absolutely beyond disappointed state in this game. And I felt like a lone match that was unlit next to 8 other torches that were. And that goes for me and Noah, and that's my fault completely. Today, I'm looking for my spark to be lit, and I hope I'm granted a flame to stay this round in the game. Nothing but respect to Noah and to everyone else here in this game. I appreciate the people who came and actually talked to me. To those who haven't, and I haven't been able to personally connect with, I get it. If you didn't want to talk to me, that's fine. But for every person I had a personal connection with, I absolutely enjoyed it. And this might possibly be my last game ever. I will keep posting, but I love everyone in this game. I love this cast. There's no ill will towards anyone. Vote the way you want to vote, and if it's for me, that's fine. Thanks.
Thank you, James and Noah. The floor is yours.
So first off, I have to echo what James said about loving each and every one of y'all. I have been having an absolute blast getting to talk to everybody and getting to know everybody that I've been able to get to know here. I think everyone here genuinely is a good person at heart, and I have absolutely no ill will to anybody, regardless of what the result is tonight. James, nothing but respect for you. It sucks that the two of us are in this situation, but that's just the way the cookie crumbled this time. However, for me, this experience of being up on the block has definitely lit that spark underneath me. And if you do vote to keep me here, I'm going to prove why I am worthy of staying here. I know that I may not have been the most socially active, and that is completely my fault, but I will step that up and I will be way more active than I have been the past 3 days. And as I said, that spark is lit. So give me that chance. And that's all I can ask for.
Awesome. Thank you, Noah. So now it is time to vote. Of course, everyone knows that everyone has a vote except for the two nominees. So if you can resend or send your vote, bump your vote up. That'd be great. And then I will be back with the votes.
Shout out to not the sponsor, but gate bars are amazing.
Everyone looks so awake. Meanwhile, I'm getting ready for bed. Once this call ends, I'm going right to bed. uh,
He's tossing his phone on the floor and everything.
oh, literally, my phone's plugged in. My alarm is set. Oh,
Have fun with work tomorrow.
oh, I won't, but thank you.
I have a 12-hour shift, so this is fun.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, thank you all for waiting. I appreciate you all. Sorry, I did not have music to play in the background. Um, and so when I announce the votes, the banished player will have, a few moments to say their goodbyes and leave the Zoom. By a vote of 15-3, James, you have been banished from the collective. Please give your last few words for us, please, if you have any.
Okay, so I just want to go off and say I'm not going to, shit on anyone's game. I know there's like a few people that I really do want to, but it's like this is a game and I want the game to be fucking exciting, and I feel like ruining people's games doesn't do that. And I respect you all as people. I will say though, the ostracization that I've gotten in the last 4 to 5 hours of this game was sickening. I've never felt so shitty since my first game 12 and a half years ago. And a lot of you putting connotation on me and Laura's friendship. We're not even in the same fucking circles, so that didn't fucking matter. I had no ties with her in the sense of any way possible, except, her driving me here yesterday for work. I love you all, but some of y'all need to get your shit in check and learn how to fucking respect people game wise, because it wasn't shown at all in here. I love y'all personally though. I have nothing bad to say that way, but please don't do this again, because I'm done with orgs. I am. This is my last game. I'm hosting and that's it. So you guys have a great day. Peace out. Nothing but smoke.
Thank you. Thank you so much, James, for playing. I know you loud. I'm going to say it anyway. I know how much you were a big fan of season one, so we were very happy to have you for season two. And I just loved your dedication and how excited you were. And with that, congratulations, Noah. You are off the block, and congratulations, everyone, for making it past the first round. It will be, I believe, the next challenge is semi-live. So what that means is that within the next probably
pause. Sorry.
Oh, you're right. I did make a mistake there. So with that, James, as the boot, which I forgot to even ask him, as you know, when you are voted out at even placement, you get to give someone safety for the next round. That person, of course, is safe. They don't have to do the next trial. They are not part of the selection process. They do get a vote. And I believe we do have his vote, correct?
Yes. James has chosen to give safety to Laura. So Laura, you will not be competing in this collective trial. You are safe for the round. You will still vote at the end of this round. Everyone else, please schedule a time by 10 p.m. tomorrow.
And I would say 11 p.m. would be the earliest that we will do the challenge, correct?
Yes.
What do we need materials wise?
I believe you
Nothing.
yourself. Yeah.
Suggest be at home though.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut the